Imagine the scene. You're sitting in your living room, looking at your bulky PlayStation or Xbox, wondering if the era of the traditional gaming console is finally coming to an end. For years, the Apple TV has been the hobby project for Cupertino, a sleek, reliable streaming box that did its job well, but never quite pushed the boundaries of what's possible in the living room. But something massive is happening behind the scenes in 2026. The leaks have moved past mere speculation and into the realm of a full-blown hardware revolution. We're talking about the Apple TV 4K 2026, a device that isn't just an iterative update. It is a tactical strike on the gaming industry. With the rumored integration of the A17 chip, the same silicon powerhouse driving the latest iPhones, and a shift toward console-class gaming, the question isn't just about whether you should upgrade. The real question is Apple finally ready to kill the console? To understand why this specific 2026 model is causing such a frenzy in the tech community, we have to look at the silicon. For the longest time, the Apple TV utilized older chips, like the A15 Bionic, which were more than enough for 4K HDR streaming, but lacked the oomph for AAA gaming. That changes now. The A18 chip, built on the cutting-edge 3nm process, brings hardware-accelerated ray tracing to your television. If you aren't a hardcore gamer, ray tracing is the holy grail of graphics. It's how light, shadows, and reflections are rendered in real time to look hyper-realistic. By putting this chip into a device that has a permanent power source and doesn't have to worry about battery life like an iPhone does, Apple is essentially uncapping the performance. Leaks suggest a redesigned thermal architecture, perhaps a more efficient cooling system, that allows the A18 to run at peak clock speeds indefinitely. This means the Apple TV 4K 2026 could theoretically outperform a portable console like the Nintendo Switch and even trade blows with the Xbox Series S in terms of sheer graphical fidelity. But hardware is only half the story. The real console killer vibe comes from Apple's recent push into the gaming ecosystem. We've already seen titles like Resident Evil Village, Death Stranding, and Assassin's Creed Mirage running on Apple Silicon. Up until now, playing these on an iPhone felt like a compromise due to the small screen. On a 65-inch 4K OLED, powered by the 2026 Apple TV, those games become a true cinematic experience. Rumors are circulating about a new Game Mode Pro within tvOS 26 that would prioritize GPU resources and virtually eliminate wireless controller latency. Apple is reportedly working with major developers to ensure that when this device launches, it won't just have mobile ports. It will have a library of high-fidelity titles that you can play with a DualSense or Xbox controller you already own. Now, let's talk about the design and connectivity, because the 2026 leaks point to some firsts for the Apple TV line. While the physical footprint might remain small and puck-like, the internal upgrades are massive. We are looking at the inclusion of the N1 communications chip, Apple's custom-designed silicon for Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.4. This is crucial for a gaming-focused future. Wi-Fi 7 offers the ultra-low latency required for cloud gaming and high bitrate 8K streaming. Yes, there are whispers of 8K support, though 4K at a buttery smooth 120Hz is the more realistic target for most users. Furthermore, the rumored addition of 8 GB of RAM isn't just for games. It's the entry ticket for Apple Intelligence. Imagine a Siri that actually works, one that understands the context of what's on your screen, manages your smart home with natural language, and can even summarize sports games or news in real time. This turns the Apple TV from a media player into a localized AI supercomputer for your home. The most shocking part of the 2026 leaks, however, isn't the power, it's the price strategy. Analysts are predicting a two-tier lineup. There's the Apple TV Pro model, which carries the A18 chip, larger storage options up to 256 GB, and an Ethernet port for the power users and gamers. But then there's the rumored budget version. Some leaks suggest a price point as low as $99. At $99, Apple would effectively wipe the floor with high-end Roku and Amazon Fire Stick models. It creates an irresistible entry point into the Apple ecosystem. For less than $100, Dreadbucks, you get the world's best user interface, no ads, unlike the competition, and a device that doubles as a smart home hub with Matter and Thread support. It's a move that targets the mass market while the Pro model targets the enthusiasts. When can we actually expect to get our hands on this thing? After skipping a refresh in 2025, the supply chain is pointing toward a spring 2026 release. Specifically, a late March or early April launch window seems highly likely. This timing allows Apple to capitalize on the post-holiday tech lull, align the release with new smart home products like the rumored Home Hub display. For those of you sitting in a 2021 or 2022 model, the jump to the 2026 version is going to feel like moving from a standard sedan to a turbocharged sports car. The fluidity of the UI, the speed of app switching, and the sheer capability of the A18 chip make this the first must-buy Apple TV in over half a decade. Is it truly a PlayStation or Xbox replacement? For the hardcore gamer who needs 4K 120Hz at the highest possible settings on every title, maybe not yet. But for the casual gamer, the family, and the tech enthusiast who wants one box that does everything perfectly, the Apple TV 4K 2026 is the ultimate solution. It's the convergence of gaming, AI, and home cinema. If these leaks hold true, and given the reliability of recent reports, they likely will, Apple is about to own the living room in a way we haven't seen since the original iPhone changed the mobile world. The era of the streaming stick is over. The era of the home powerhouse has begun. You've been warned. Don't buy a new console just yet. Wait for the March event.